Morning Year 3 and welcome to Wednesday's lesson. We have finished doing our jungle log now. We're starting a new unit of work which is creative writing, and it's all going to be about what you've experienced during lockdown, so you can use your own experiences, and we're going to create some really good creative writing pieces where you can make it really imaginative and really work on those skills. So I'm going to share my screen with you so that you know what we're doing today. It's just generating ideas today to do with what you've been up to in lockdown. So, as I said, we're generating ideas today. So I'll just introduce the unit of work to you. So it's called Lockdown Creative Writing. And this unit of work, we will write lots of different creative responses to the new lockdown situation. Some of us have been going into school and some of us have had to stay at home. It's been a pretty strange time, but in the end, everything will go back to how things were, but hopefully we'll all be a little bit wiser. So I want to put your pieces of writing together in your writing journal when it's finished, so that we can look back on this time and remember what we've been up to. So it says here 5 ways to keep yourself amused in lockdown. So amused just means keeping yourself busy or keeping yourself entertained. So, have you found any unusual or interesting ways to keep yourself amused during lockdown? Here are 12 things that you can do at home. Put them in order, with the most interesting at the top and the least interesting at the bottom. Then add things that you like doing that I've missed out. Think about things you really like doing and really hold your attention, and select 5 to write about. So, these are just 12 things that are ideas for things that you might have done at home or that you might want to do. So reading comics, watching TV, computer games, looking out the window, cooking, writing stories, playing with Lego, painting or drawing, talking to the cat, the dog, baby brother, whistling, staring at the ceiling and daydreaming. So there might be other things that you've done during lockdown. There's definitely other things that I've done during lockdown, although talking to the cat is something that I probably have done a lot of. She's probably a bit fed up with me by now. So what I want you to do is, just on a piece of paper, you don't need to do it on purple mash, just number 1 to 12 and put them in order which you think is most interesting. Then number 12 would be your least interesting thing that you would want to do. So for example, for number 1, I would probably put, out of all those things, at the top of my list, cooking. That would be the most interesting thing for me to do on that whole list. Maybe the least interesting thing for me, which I would put as number 12, would be, let's see, computer games. But that might be something that's at the top of your list. So this is just a quick activity that you can do. I'm not going to be marking it for you. When you've done that, I would like you to add at the side 5 things that you've been doing that maybe I haven't put on the list. Now, what I want you to think about is this. These aren't mine, but they're somebody's. It says, here are 5 ideas that I have had. What ideas have you got? You can use the way that I have written my ideas to write yours if you want. The hard bit is to make each idea different. I've tried to list unusual ways to be kept amused. So what I want you to do now is, I want you to choose 5 things that either you have done during lockdown, or you can make them up completely yourself. But I want you to try and make them as unusual or weird as possible. So for example, if we look, in lockdown, you can apply to the Guinness Book of Records for the world record as a child couch potato. Now, for those of you that don't know what the Guinness Book of Records is, it's a book, and people contact the Guinness Book of Records, and what they do is they say they're the best at doing 100 skips. They can do the most skips in 1 minute. And then the World Guinness Book of Records goes around and tests these people to see if they can actually do these things. And if they find that this person is the best at that in the world, then they will put them in the Guinness Book of Records. So here it's saying you can apply to the Guinness Book of Records for the world record as a child couch potato. Now, a couch potato means that you can sit on the sofa for the longest watching TV. So obviously, in lockdown, a lot of us will have been sitting and watching TV. Hopefully, you've been doing other stuff as well, not just that. So that could be one thing that you could do in lockdown. Another thing, it says you can try surfing TV channels and see if you can keep up with the plot of 5 programs at the same time. So surfing TV programs means flicking between different TV programs, so one after another, and see if you can keep up with the plot. So say you chose 5 channels, you'd flick onto channel 1, watch that for a couple of minutes, then flick onto channel 2, watch that for a couple of minutes, and do 5 channels and see if you can keep up with the plot. The plot just means the story of all 5, so that could be something you could do in lockdown to keep yourself entertained. The next one says, when it rains, you can play raindrop races by betting on which drop will reach the bottom of the window pane first. I'm not going to lie, when me and my brother were children, when we were in long car journeys and we were bored, we used to do this when the rain was trickling down the car window. So it says, you can play a raindrop race by betting on which raindrop will reach the bottom of the window first. The next one says you can train the spider that lives in your plug hole to be an acrobat, which means like a gymnast, and develop skills as an Arachnid trapeze artist. So obviously you're not actually going to be able to train your spider to do acrobatics, but it's just something unusual that you could try. And then it says you can draw anything from a Gruffalump eating a cheese pastry to a hippocampus that is stuck in a drain. So it's saying that instead of just drawing things that you see in the garden or in your house or on the TV, you could have a go at being creative and making things up. A hippocampus and a Gruffalump are not real things, they're made up animals. So those are 5 unusual things that you could do in lockdown. What I'd like you to do is think of 5 unusual things that you could do in lockdown. They don't have to be real, but remember, it's during lockdown, so it's something you've got to do in the house. And there's a writing tip here for you. It says make each idea different and avoid repetition, so don't repeat yourself or the reader might get bored. Surprise the reader so each idea is a totally new suggestion. So you can look back at these ideas here. You're literally on Purple Mash going to write 5 sentences, like I've done here with 5 different ideas. But this bit about being a couch potato came from the fact that you can watch TV during lockdown. I've just made it a bit more wacky and interesting. The same with surfing the TV channels. That would have came from watching TV. And this about drawing the Gruffalump eating a cheese pastry and a hippocampus stuck in a drain, that would have come from painting or drawing. So you can pick one of these, but you can make it weird and wacky. So the talking to the cat or the dog, it could be something like teaching your cat how to speak Spanish or something like that. Just try and make it as wacky and out there as possible. And I look forward to reading these ideas, guys. Okay, I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye.